The Bible stands as a unique testament to human history, unlike any other chronicle found within the halls of public libraries. Its narrative spans from the cosmic genesis of the earth to the apocalyptic finale of the world, a breadth of events unmatched by any other historical record. What sets it apart is not just its scope, but the profound depth of its insight into the human condition and the divine plan. At the outset, the Bible unveils the majestic act of creation, a cosmic symphony orchestrated by the divine hand. Yet, its account doesn't merely recount events, it delves into the very essence of existence, probing the mysteries of life and purpose. However, its uniqueness lies not just in its coverage of history, but in its prophetic vision, a glimpse into the future granted to us by divine revelation. While no human observer was present at the dawn of creation to document its inception, the Bible offers us an authoritative account of our origins. It is through its pages that we come to understand the unfolding drama of creation and the divine purpose behind it all. And though we stand at the precipice of the unknown future, uncertain of what lies ahead, we find solace in the knowledge that the Creator has not left us in the dark. The Lord's revelation of the future wasn't merely to satisfy our curiosity but to prepare us for the trials and tribulations that lie ahead. In His wisdom, He has given us glimpses of what is to come so that we may navigate the tumultuous waters of life with faith and perseverance. Thus, we are called not to be surprised by the unfolding events but to interpret them through the lens of divine wisdom. In uncertainty, we find assurance in the forthrightness of Jesus, who shared with us the future that awaits. As we ponder whether we are living in the end times, we are reminded that the last days have been ongoing for 2 millennia, ever since the fulfillment of the first prophecy at Pentecost. Each Christian generation is called to readiness, awaiting the Lord's return with eager anticipation. The Bible, with its 735 predictions about the future, stands as a prophetic text from beginning to end. Over 80% of these prophecies have already come to pass, bearing witness to its unparalleled accuracy. And as we await the fulfillment of the remaining predictions, we are reminded to watch and pray, discerning the signs that herald the coming of the Lord. In Matthew chapter 24, Jesus provides us with a roadmap of these signs, guiding us through the tumultuous terrain of the end times. With unwavering clarity, He unveils the markers that precede His arrival, ensuring that we are not caught unawares. And though the book of Revelation offers a more detailed glimpse into the future, we are grateful for the straightforward manner in which Jesus has revealed the signs of His return. In a moment of confidentiality on the Mount of Olives, the disciples sought Jesus for insights into the future, Matthew 24 verses 3 to 36. Later, as Jesus sat upon that sacred hill, His disciples approached Him privately, their hearts burdened with questions about the timing of significant events, including His return and the end of the world. Responding with solemnity, Jesus cautioned His disciples against deception, stressing that many would falsely claim His identity and mislead others. He foretold a tumultuous era marked by wars, famines, and natural disasters, a mere prelude to greater tribulations. He warned of persecution and betrayal, highlighting the pervasive spread of sin and the chilling prospect of love growing cold among humanity. Yet, amid the foreboding signs, Jesus offered hope to those who persevere, assuring them of salvation and the global proclamation of the kingdom's good news. He alluded to the prophet Daniel's forewarning of sacrilege in the holy place, urging those in Judea to flee without hesitation. The impending distress would be so severe that pregnant and nursing mothers would face unimaginable anguish, emphasizing the urgency of prayer for favorable circumstances. Jesus emphasized that divine intervention would limit the extent of calamity for the sake of God's chosen ones. Moreover, Jesus cautioned against false claims of His return, underscoring the need for discernment amidst deceptive signs and wonders. He likened His arrival to a flash of lightning, unmistakable and universal, heralding the culmination of history. As the climax approaches, celestial phenomena will herald the Son of Man's appearance, evoking deep mourning among all peoples. His arrival, amidst the clouds of heaven and with resplendent glory, will mark the ultimate fulfillment of prophecy and the culmination of God's redemptive plan. And behold, His angels shall be dispatched with a resounding trumpet call, and they shall gather his elect from the four corners of the earth, from the ends of heaven to the farthest reaches of the land. Consider now the fig tree, when its branches become tender and its leaves begin to sprout, you know that summer is near. In the same manner, when you witness all these signs, recognize that his return is imminent, standing at the threshold. Truly I tell you, this generation shall not pass away until all these things come to pass. Though heaven and earth may fade away, his words shall endure forever. Yet, the exact day or hour remains unknown, reserved solely within the knowledge of the Father in heaven, undisclosed even to the angels or the Son. Now, let us ponder the four signs he hath revealed unto us. The first is the upheaval of the world and its realms, wars, famine, and earthquakes. Though these tribulations have persisted for millennia, their intensity heightens with each passing day, indicating the fulfillment of the initial sign. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, and famine abound, yet let us not be led astray. For the peril of deception lurks both within and beyond the walls of the church. False Christs, deceitful messiahs, seizing upon the chaos of natural disasters, shall emerge, proclaiming themselves as saviors. There are infamous instances of individuals masquerading as messiahs, luring followers into desolate regions, only to meet tragic ends. Nevertheless, numerous impostors claim to be the anticipated redeemer of our afflictions. The escalation of challenges breeds a proliferation of false rescuers. Yet, heed the counsel of Jesus, be not dismayed when confronted with news of conflict, calamity, or famine. His remarkable insight reveals these as birth pains, not death throes. Thus, when disasters proliferate, perceive them as the precursor to a new dawn. Let this shift in perspective transform our demeanor. Understanding the trajectory of our world, we should not succumb to anxiety or despair, unlike the rest of the world. Catastrophes herald the labor pains of a forthcoming era. Consequently, our response differs markedly. While extending empathy and assistance to those affected, our hearts remain steadfast, infused with hope for the emergence of a new epoch. Hence, we are undeterred by the world's tribulations, for we anticipate the birthing of a new reality. In summary, Jesus exhorts us not to fret or falter but to rejoice, recognizing these occurrences as harbingers of transformation. The second indication of his imminent return lies not in global upheaval but within the confines of the church. While worldwide calamities serve as the initial sign, ecclesiastical transformations constitute the second. The initial alert emanates from global crises, while the subsequent signal manifests within the church. In the same manner that Jesus delineated the initial sign into three facets, conflicts, seismic activity, and scarcity, he further dissects the subsequent sign into three components, all of which transpire within the ecclesiastical sphere. The primary element involves persecution, prophesying that animosity towards believers will become pervasive across nations. Secondly, a notable decline in the church's size will unfold. As societal pressures intensify, the fervor of many individuals will wane, resulting in the departure of numerous nominal adherents, if not all genuine disciples. Amidst widespread persecution, their ardor for the faith will diminish, a disheartening manifestation. The third facet, a surprising revelation, entails the universal dissemination of the gospel message to diverse ethnic groups. This proclamation of the gospel constitutes the third element of the sign. A smaller yet purified congregation will wield greater influence globally. Such is the underlying implication of Jesus' discourse. False prophets present a formidable challenge amidst these circumstances. Their teachings, characterized by deception, propagate false assurances amidst turmoil. Rather than imparting admonition, they proffer solace, assuring, "All will be well, there is no cause for concern." Jesus' counsel stands in stark contrast: persevere steadfastly, resisting the allure of these deceptive voices. Only those who endure until the end will experience salvation. Upon the manifestation of that signal, when all facets of the church incur disdain from the world, this is Jesus' counsel to all believers. Why does this transpire? The answer lies in the coexistence of wheat and tares. As they approach full maturity, the tension between them escalates. Thus, it's natural for Christians to face significant pressure in the end times. As societal outliers, Christians are met with hostility. Our citizenship lies in the heavenly realms, we are distinct, and it's this distinctiveness that can incite animosity. Just as Jesus, being markedly different from others, attracted hatred towards himself, John 15 verse 19, so too will his followers. If you were of the world, it would love you as its own. Instead, the world hates you because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Being despised is not a pleasant experience. This brings us to the third sign of the end times, Jerusalem's distress. Geographically, its impact will be localized. In this discourse, Jesus alludes to Daniel's prophecies, specifically referencing the abomination of desolation mentioned thrice in Daniel's writings. What significance does this hold? It pertains to a human figure, an individual who positions himself in the very heart of God's city, proclaiming himself as God and refusing to yield to any authority other than his own, a despot whose advent will reverberate globally but whose locus will be Jerusalem, the sacred dwelling place. Subsequently, Jesus indicates that the fourth sign of his return will swiftly ensue thereafter. Thus, we shall discern his imminent arrival, we shall be prepared when that indicator emerges. There will be no risk of false prophets or pseudo-messiahs, deception will be averted. It will unfold abruptly, natural illumination will dissipate, the sun will dim, and the stars will descend. Throughout the Bible, numerous prophecies foretell these events. Isaiah prophesies, "The heavens will be rolled up like a carpet, all the stars of heaven will be dissolved, the skies will be rolled up like a scroll, and all their stars will fall like withered leaves from the vine, like foliage from the fig tree." Consequently, natural light will fade, leaving only artificial illumination to brighten the earth. People may wonder, what is happening? What is going on? Christians will declare, this is it. Before these occurrences, the sun, stars, and moons will cease shining as God dims the heavenly lights in anticipation of the radiant burst of light accompanying his return. Subsequently, he descends upon the clouds back to the earth, where we shall meet him. We won't convene in an earthly arena, as none exists large enough to accommodate such a vast assembly. Instead, we'll gather in the air, which will suffice. Isn't that a marvelous prospect? Jesus affirms that when you witness all these events unfolding, you know he is at the threshold, poised to enter. Then Jesus imparts a simple lesson using a fig tree, a teaching that many Christians have misconstrued. He states, "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree, as soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near." Here, Jesus elucidates that upon observing these events, we are on the cusp. The fig tree analogy is not an allegory, rather, it's a straightforward comparison drawn from everyday occurrences, a method Jesus often employed in his teachings. Just as you observe the fig tree's signs and anticipate summer's arrival, so too should you recognize these four signs and anticipate the imminent culmination of events. Unfortunately, some have misinterpreted it as an allegory. In conclusion, our inquiry for today is, what worship song has aided you in feeling closer to God? Stay blessed.